Hello guys, Shop came back once again, so tired of the video. Lightning McQueen in Cars 3. And my only real problem with the movie, and I've been sitting on this for quite some time, I've been thinking about it, pondering, and ever since that movie came out 2017, my biggest issue with that movie is that Lightning McQueen never had a chance to go out on his own terms and to finish the race. Because in the first movie, it was reiterated. Doc Hudson was just like Lightning. He was the biggest star in the world. Everybody loved it. Everybody was great. But after his car injury, they threw him away. Like he was trash. All his accomplishments, all the trophies, all the everything. It didn't mean anything. Because there will always be a brand new flashlight. There will always be a brand new car on the track. And it was a big part of the first movie. Even at the end of that movie, like McQueen says himself, it's just another piston cup. Just another piston cup. It's just a trophy. It doesn't mean anything. But being able to leave the race and go out on your own terms, the way you want to, is much bigger than just winning a trophy. That's why Jackson Storm, it doesn't matter if he beats Jackson Storm. It doesn't matter if Cruz beats Jackson Storm. What matters is how Lightning McQueen decides to end his career the way he wants to, and not allow him to finish the race. Which is why I believe, but I like some of the deleted scenes of Cars 3 where, Rusty chooses to replace Lightning with Cruz. Just like they did Doc Hudson. As soon as they had a chance to replace him or toss him away, they did. And then it comes full circle with Donico, because in the first movie, he turned down Donico. This movie, we're going full Donico, boys. Let's do it. We're going full Donico. Oh, could have been a throwback. Bring Mater and the team back. It would have been great. But for me, Lightning must finish the race for himself. That's why the time he spent training with Cruz, it could have been used to show that not only is it just a race or just a piston cup, beating Jackson Storm doesn't matter. But how I choose to end my career and my legacy does matter. And no one else can choose and decide when I'm done until I'm done. And in the movie, he doesn't get that. I don't care that Cruz wins. I don't like. In my opinion, Lightning doesn't need to beat Jackson Storm because there will always be another Jackson Storm. But just like the first movie with King and with Doc Hudson, he has to finish the race on his own terms. Why could he just have get Donico paint colors? He race with Cruz and he allows Cruz to win by holding back Jackson Storm. Whether we're going to do a slingshot like Tyler, he's a Knight or whatever it is. That would have been a better movie and a better ending. And then you get the fabulous Lightning McQueen at the end. It's just like, it'll come full circle of how Lightning has seen racing throughout his entire career. At one point in time, it was only about a piston cup. Then that changed. It's about racing, doing his best, hanging out with Doc Hudson. And then, Cars 2, it wasn't as much about Lightning McQueen. It became the Mater story. You got a little sides hit with him and Franchenko, but it's really with 3, where you tackle the legacy of your career, and you getting older, and you becoming the last stallion of your generation per se, and you have a choice to decide how you're going to end your career. Are you going to let the society and the media toss you away, or are you going to go out on your own terms and race one last race and participate one last time? Because Doc Hudson never had his chance to say goodbye. It was robbed from him. And Lightning allowed King to have his last goodbye, his last final lap. So it's upsetting that McQueen could get the same thing in his own movie, where he was supposed to be the major focusing point. I don't care how old I am. It's just I grew up with this stuff. I was 6 years old when the first Cars came out, and it's just that's why I never had an interest in watching the movie. Because I don't care if Cars 4 take place with Cruz or not, but it's just really how they choose to wrap up Lightning McQueen's story, where it was just really just that's it. He just conk out on the sidelines and just, well, I can't do it. Throw Cruz in there. Really? So you don't even get a chance to even finish your last race of your career. You just throw in the towel. After everything Lightning has learned throughout his career, and about finishing things, and the importance of racing or what matters in life, you're gonna just It's not like he was blowing the gasket. It's not like he couldn't, compete. He just couldn't beat Jackson Storm. So why couldn't he just Cruz still wins, but Lightning just, he get his final goodbye. He get his final waving lap, and him and Sally ride off in the sunset. To have that final race between Lightning McQueen and Cruz on the dirt road. And it's just, it would have been for a better movie, in my opinion. And that's been my only real problem with that movie. Finish Lightning's race, and Cruz, by having Lightning coaching Cruz in the middle of the action, just how those going back and forth early with the Demolition Derby, would have been incredible. Especially him being able to teach him and teach him how to dodge a pilot, teach her how to dodge a pilot would have been great. And then the final, when he pushes Cruz forward or allows Cruz for the slipstream, he can see himself in her, and she wins. She beats him. And she goes on to continue the rest of the season for McQueen. And McQueen get to say his final goodbyes on his terms, the way he wants to. Not when somebody else decides for him, but when he decides he's ready. Which could have been a conversation between him and Sally, but I haven't seen everything with the movie, so I could be wrong. But that would be a much stronger movie, much better send off, and a better wrap up for the character of Lightning McQueen. He has a full career, young upstart rookie, the middle years where you go international, and the finale of Legacy. In 20 years from now, when you look back on your career, would you be able to say that it's enough? In McQueen, the king was tossed out. Doc Hudson was thrown away. But McQueen, out of the three of them, is able to decide, I had enough, and I'll let the new generation kids take over. But that doesn't happen. But that puts me a long video. That's my quick thoughts about it. Because I was watching some clips and they just looking at some edits. And I was just like, I can't believe that, McQueen, even after all these years, and the deleted scenes were there. They had this in concept. But they chose to go with this. And I don't want to take anything from Cruz or say that she can't compete or something like that. But it's just not allowing McQueen to finish the race. Just like betrays everything in that first movie, in my opinion. But hey, that's just me. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and peace. That's my only problem with this movie.